please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, the Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody, so we are back for another series preview, and today we're going to be looking at the Western Conference matchup between the Vancouver Canucks and Vegas Golden Knights. This is going to be a really fun series, two very talented teams. You've got Vegas, who has been absolutely almost unstoppable in the playoffs so far, only losing one game. And Vancouver knocking out the defending champion Blues, a young, hungry jumpstart team coming out of a rebuild. Their first postseason experience with this core, and they are taking that opportunity and running with it so far. This is going to be a very fun series. Before I get into the full preview, I just ask that you please subscribe if you are new and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Both of those things really go a long way in helping the channel and are very much appreciated. But let's start here looking at the Canucks. They went 36, 27, and 6 for 78 points in the regular season. And they were a playoff team pretty much all year long. They are coming off a 6-game series victory over the defending Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. And Vancouver outplayed the Blues for much of that series and just looked like the faster, more hungry team. And were able to knock off the defending champ. So a huge victory there. For this young Canucks team, and they are just taking this opportunity and running with it. These young players, I think, really enjoy playing playoff hockey and want that to continue. So far in the playoffs, they're scoring 3.11 goals for per game, so pretty solid offense there, over 3 goals a game. They've been able to put the puck in the net. Defensively, they've been very solid as well, only giving up 2.67 goals against per game. Jacob Markstrom has been extremely solid in goal. Their team defense overall has been good, and, you know, they don't look like a young team. As young as this team is, and with all of these core players who are, a lot of them in their first playoff experience, pretty much all of them in their first playoff experience, with the exception of, like, JT Miller and a couple of the other, although he's not as young as, I'm mostly talking about Pettersson and Hughes and Horvat and those guys. These guys are getting their first taste of playoff action, and especially as, top players in the league. And they are taking that and running with it. They've been 25% so far on the power play in the playoffs, so obviously pretty good there. Penalty kill has also been solid. Nothing spectacular, but very solid at 80%. So special teams have not been an issue for the Canucks. They've been pretty good at both ends as far as that goes. Their leading goal scorer in the postseason so far is Bo Horvat, the captain of the team, and he's played like it. He's got 6 goals so far in the playoffs and counting. He's had a hat trick earlier in these playoffs. He's just been absolutely fantastic for Vancouver. Their leading point scorer is none other than Elias Pettersson, leading the team with 11 points so far in the postseason. And again, his first playoff experience, and he is playing extremely well. Pettersson is one of the best young players in the league out of anybody. He's just continuing to show it, not only in the regular season, but again here in the postseason as well. Vancouver has played some very physical series so far. And this is one of the great things about this Canucks team is that, yes, they're very skilled. Yes, they have a lot of young talent on that team, but they can bring it physically as well. They can play that tough physical style of hockey, and they've had, 2 very physical, series so far against the Wild and then against the Blues. There's been a lot of fights. The Canucks have fought a lot in this postseason, and Antoine Roussel is leading the team as far as penalty minutes go with 22. And there's a lot of other guys with a lot of penalty minutes on the Canucks as well. Roussel's the leader, but they've got a bunch of guys in double-digit penalty minutes already. This is a team that is not afraid to play big boy hockey, and the fact that they can play as skilled and as fast as they do and as physically as they do, I think it's going to be a huge asset for them in the playoffs and going forward in future playoffs as well. If they continue to bring that style of play, they are ready for playoff hockey. Moving on now to Vegas. Vegas went 39, 24, and 8 in the regular season, 86 points on the year. They won the Pacific Division and have been a very, very good team all year long. They are coming off a 5-game series victory over the Chicago Blackhawks, in which they were absolutely outstanding again in that series. They've got a great goaltending duo of Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner. Lehner has actually been the starter in the playoffs, but when Fleury's been in, he played very well in his game. But Lehner's been the guy so far, and we'll see if that continues here the rest of the way. But he's been outstanding in goal. Vegas's offense has been on fire, scoring 3.75 goals per game in the postseason so far. Almost 4 goals a game. They've been one of the best offensive teams in the postseason. And defensively, not too shabby either. 2.63 goals against per game. So very good offensively, very good defensively. Vegas has been one of the top teams in the playoffs so far. They've just looked so good. I really think it's them in Colorado right now that look the most dominant and look the best. They've been off to a great start in the bubble so far. Power play, not middle of the road power play, not spectacular. 19.1% on the man advantage so far in these playoffs. Not terrible, not like it's down near 15 or 16%, but you want to see your power play at 20% or higher. Vegas doesn't have that right now. But their penalty kill has been very, very good, 86.4% on the PK, and they don't spend a lot of time in the penalty box. Vegas is not a team that takes a lot of penalties, but when they do, they're able to kill them off. As far as goal scoring goes, they have 3 players tied for the team lead in goals in these playoffs so far, and with only 4 goals, which again shows how deep and how spread out the goal scoring is on this team. Mark Stone, Shea Theodore, and Alex Tuck have 4 goals each, and that's good enough for the team lead. But their scoring to this point in the year, or this point in the postseason, has been very, very spread out, and they're getting contributions from a lot of different lines and a lot of different players. As far as points go, Mark Stone and Riley Smith are tied for the team lead in points in the playoffs with 8 points each. Again, offense has been very spread out, and a lot of depth up and down that lineup. So no one has double-digit points yet for the Golden Knights. But Stone and Smith lead the way so far with 8. And as far as penalty minutes are concerned, Brayden McNabb leads the team with 8 penalty minutes. Like I said, this is not a team that spends a lot of time in the penalty box. They haven't really had one of those big rough and tumble series yet. That series with Chicago really wasn't all that physical. There was certainly some physicality. It's the playoffs, there always is, but it wasn't all that physical. So they haven't really, gotten involved in the rough stuff yet, which maybe against Vancouver, that might start to come out a little bit more when these two teams play. But as far as a prediction goes, I'm going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights in this one. And don't get me wrong, I love this Vancouver team. But they're young, they're inexperienced, and they're just getting their first taste of action. They've played really, really well so far. I've been thoroughly impressed with Vancouver, and they have an extremely bright future coming ahead of them. But I think Vegas at this point is the better team. Vegas's top 6 is unbelievable. That goaltending duo of Fleury and Lehner is probably the best duo in the league for sure. I see Vegas going on here. I'm going to say it goes 7 games, though. I do think it's going to go 7 games. Vancouver can absolutely put up a fight. Vancouver could actually win this series without a doubt. I think every team that's made it this far has a chance to win. But at the end of the day, I think Vegas is too strong. They're one of the top teams in the West. They've looked incredible so far in the playoffs. And I think that they're a little bit more experienced, a little bit better than Vancouver is right now, and they are going to come out with the win in this series. But with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, our donation link, Patreon, and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.